It is a game, isn't it, Mary Poppins?
Well, it depends on your point of view. You see, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun, and snap! The job's a game.
Mary Poppins has a point. If we could make hard work into a video game, well then it doesn't feel like hard work at all. Game designers seem to have cracked the code on human motivation because players will happily sink many hours into a video game trying to complete it or master it, despite the video game not offering any kind of economic incentive at all. So if we take those principles from good game design and apply them to real life, then maybe we can help people change their behavior and actually achieve their long-term goals. So that's the topic of today's video. In this video, me and my friend Alex from Behavioral Science Toolkit are going to go through 5 different principles of game design and see how they apply to real life and real human behavior. These first 3 are going to be done by Alex, so take it away, Alex.
Hey Pete, Behavioral Science Toolkit here. Thanks for having me. Game designers have been perfecting the art of motivation and engagement for decades, and what they've learned goes way beyond points, badges, and leaderboards. So, here are a few other concepts from the world of game design that I think behavioral scientists should know. The first is positive and negative feedback loops. Positive feedback loops reinforce existing behavior by rewarding people who are doing well and punishing those that are doing poorly. In chess, a player who captures an opponent's piece can more easily capture future pieces, while the player who loses a piece more easily loses future pieces. These self-reinforcing cycles can create divergent paths. People who exercise will continue to exercise, and couch sitters will continue to sit on couches. The Duolingo app is great at reinforcing positive feedback loops. They use daily streaks to encourage those who use the app often to continue to do so every day. But how do you counter a positive feedback loop if you're trying to move a couch sitter? With a negative feedback loop. These loops punish those who are doing well, but support those who are doing poorly. In Mario Kart, drivers in last place receive the best items in order to give them a chance to get back in the race. This means that you should offer extra incentives or rewards to those who have not exercised, donated to charity, or saved for retirement recently. Perhaps by offering a matching savings or donation amount that increases based on how long it's been since a person's last payment. Now, let's talk about game feel. Game feel is a somewhat intangible property of game design. It essentially means that a game should simply feel good to interact with, regardless of the context. Some implementations of good game feel include expressive and colorful animations and immersive sound effects. And in board games, how good the cards and playing pieces feel to hold and to play with, like a metal pawn versus a plastic one. So in behavioral design, ask yourself, does your subscribe button shoot out confetti or fireworks when someone clicks it? Do your stairs play like the keys to a piano? And when you send out mailers, do your donors receive a limp piece of printer paper or something with a little more heft and texture to it? Lastly, let's discuss choices. Sid Meier, creator of the hit series of strategy games Civilization, says that a game is simply a series of interesting choices, stating that meaningful choices increase engagement and decrease boredom. There are 2 major takeaways here. First, providing people choices about how they interact with a product or service can increase engagement by itself. Like offering several options of insurance or retirement plans, or by allowing people to customize the way an app looks, or what information it provides to them. Second, the choices that you offer your users and customers should be meaningfully different. Offering an abundance of options for health insurance isn't useful if the options only vary slightly in how much they cost and what benefits they give. Curating the choices you give to your users and customers is important, and so is user and customer research. Now, back to you, Pete.
Thanks, Alex. The 4th principle I want to talk about is instant feedback. When we're pursuing our long-term goals, it can be really hard to know if what we're doing today is actually helping us achieve that. Maybe we start going to the gym a few times, but after a week of workouts, our body still looks the same in the mirror. Maybe you try meditating a few times, but you still feel just as stressed as you did before. Or maybe we care about the environment, so we switch off our appliances, but it's hard for us to know if that's actually having any significant impact on our carbon footprint. The reason why it's hard to know if we're doing the right thing is the lack of instant feedback. When we do these behaviors, there's nothing telling us if what we're doing is actually working or not. But video games have a great way of overcoming this. In Fortnite, when you land a successful shot on an enemy, big cartoon numbers jump up on the screen telling you how much damage you're doing. In Animal Crossing, if you pop a balloon and it lands in the water, then look at what your character does. That's how you know you messed up. So next time when a balloon comes along, you know to wait a little bit longer for it to go further inland before you pop it. In behavioral design, instant feedback has also proven very effective in changing people's behavior. One simple example are these faces that show up next to speedometers in the UK. If you're driving too fast according to these speedometers, then it'll show you a sad face, but if you drive below the speed limit, then it shows you a happy face. What's interesting about these speedometers is that they don't actually offer any risk of penalty. You won't be punished for speeding, but yet they still cause people to slow down when driving because of this instant feedback. Humans are extremely good at processing faces, and so these faces act as a very quick and very easy way for people to understand if what they're doing right now is good or bad, which can help people adjust their behavior accordingly. The instant feedback helps people adjust their behavior. Similar effects have been seen with in-home displays on energy consumption. By having this in-home display, you can easily see how your actions are affecting your energy usage, and that helps people to adjust their behavior in order to reduce their consumption either for environmental or for financial reasons. So behavioral designers, you can think about how to incorporate instant feedback into your human-centered designs. Now, the last principle of game design that we're talking about in today's video is purpose. Video games often give the player a very strong motivation for doing the actions that they're doing. This motivates players to not just press the right buttons, but they also feel like that when they press the right buttons, that they're actually positively affecting the world around them. These purposes that games give the player can vary in scale from epic, like in Overwatch where you're a hero fighting against the Omnic Uprising, to more personal and maybe even silly endeavors like Mario trying to save Princess Peach from Bowser again, even though that she's been captured by Bowser like 50 times. Like, come on Princess Peach, you're a princess, get some security. Sorry, I divulge. The point is that good games give the player something bigger than themselves to care about. It's a small detail that makes a big difference to the overall player's experience. Now, in the workplace, this is important too. If employees feel like their work is serving a greater purpose than themselves, then they're more likely to feel motivated and contribute to the cause. Adam Grant, the author of Originals, I think again did some research on this. He did a study on this showing that when university fundraising callers met a single scholarship student who benefited from their work, that their output spiked by 142% in weekly phone minutes and 171% in weekly revenue. So you can see that simply introducing your employees to one of the beneficiaries of their work can increase their sense of purpose and therefore increase motivation and productivity. And I definitely experienced this phenomenon on this YouTube channel too. One of the most rewarding aspects of making these videos is when you guys leave comments telling me how much you enjoy them, or that you've even been inspired by my videos and to pursue a career in behavioral science. That's really amazing, and it motivates me so much more to continue making videos and continue improving the quality of them. So those are all the tips in today's video. If you enjoyed it, can you please give me a thumbs up? I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you enjoyed Alex's segment from earlier, go check out his channel in the description. He makes videos about behavioral science too. And I also just want to say a huge thank you to you guys. You recently passed 3,000 subscribers on the channel, which is like an insane number of people, and I'm really glad that so many of you enjoy my videos. You know, the purpose of this channel is really to make behavioral science more accessible for more people, and so the bigger our community grows, the bigger our little family here on YouTube grows, the more we're achieving that goal together. So thank you guys so much for the support. I really, really appreciate it, and I will see you all in next week's video. Bye bye. Now, if you're wondering, yes, I did get a tan. This isn't some weird color grade that I put on the video. I went to the beach, I got a bit sunburnt,